You know how kids sometimes think they need to eat all the vegetables on the plate, even when they're already full, because otherwise they're bad. That's the same stupid game adults play with suffering. Somewhere along the way, someone convinced you that pain is the price tag for being allowed to exist. That if you weren't bleeding, sweating, grinding yourself to dust, you didn't deserve the gold. And yet, look closer. Do you notice how many times in your life you already let ease give you more? You don't strain to breathe oxygen. You don't dig your nails into your skin to earn a heartbeat. The sun rises every day, whether or not you suffer enough to deserve it. That's the unconscious clue. You already live worthiness without pain every second. And if your unconscious mind notices this right now, then it can start rewiring, can it not? Let's chunk this up. Let's zoom out, like we're standing at the top of a skyscraper, looking down at your life as a whole. If you keep the martyr loop running, the city below turns grey. Exhaustion, resentment, health breaking down, relationships strained. The story plays out like a Shakespearean tragedy where the hero dies early, praised for sacrifice but empty, because they never got to live. But if you let go of the martyr loop, the whole skyline shifts. Neon lights, energy, vitality. You become the lighthouse others steer toward. Not because you collapse for them, but because you stood tall, illuminated. You raise kids who know joy is sacred. You create work that's sustainable, that compounds, instead of chewing you up. You live decades longer. That's the karmic fork in the road. One way is death by 1,000 sacrifices. The other is life by design. The camel drags the load across the desert, proud of its suffering. The horse races free, carrying twice as far, twice as fast, because it runs with joy. Which one are you teaching yourself to be? The stonecutter smashes rock all day, proud of his blisters. Then one day, he learns about explosives. One strike clears the whole path. Does that make him unworthy? Or does it make him fucking brilliant? Martyrdom is planting roses and then stomping on them to prove you deserve beauty. Worthiness is watering the flowers and sitting in the shade. Neuroscience says this straight. The brain wires itself to whatever you repeat. You've wired worthiness to pain. That's why you chase suffering. But dopamine is just as happy to attach joy, creativity, love, flow. Change the loop and your brain changes chemistry, physiology, energy. Stress hormones drop. Immune system rises. Lifespan extends. You don't have to believe in woo. This is cortisol, serotonin, oxytocin. This is biology. If you keep thinking, I must suffer to be worthy, fast forward 10 years, back pain, failed relationships, hollow praise for being so strong. But nobody around you when you collapse. Fast forward 30 years, regret, realizing you burned decades to ashes, proving what was already true, that you were worthy. Now flip it. Imagine 10 years of ease, where worthiness is assumed, where you channel effort into play, mastery, love. 30 years from now, you're healthy, surrounded by people who are drawn to your joy, your presence, your creativity. You become the ancestor people thank silently every time they choose balance over burnout. You say, I must suffer to be worthy. I say, that's like saying you must starve to prove food exists. Bullshit. You say if it's not hard, it doesn't count. I say, if it's not smart, it doesn't last. You say, I don't want people to think I'm lazy. I say lazy is wasting your life suffering when there are better ways. You say suffering builds character. I say ease builds longevity, and longevity lets you build legacies. Imagine you're playing with Legos. You want to build a castle. Do you smash your hand with a hammer first to earn it? No. You just play. You build, you laugh. That's how worthiness works. You're already worthy. So you get to build castles, not prisons. And as you hear this, you can notice some part of you, the deeper unconscious part, already understands that ease is not cheating, that joy is not weakness, that you can let go of the martyr whip and still be worthy, even more so. And while another part of you keeps listening for proof, it can't help but notice that every example points to the same conclusion. Suffering is not the gateway to worthiness. It's the detour away from it. And the more you imagine your future selves, the one collapsing from exhaustion and the one thriving in vitality, the more your unconscious mind automatically, naturally, effortlessly begins to choose the path of joy, strength, balance. Because it's smarter, because it works, because it's who you really are. So here's the no bullshit truth. Keep worshipping suffering and you'll fucking burn out. Nobody wins. But drop the martyr loop and you ignite a life worth living. A life that teaches everyone around you that worth is baked into existence. You don't need to bleed to be enough. You don't need to sacrifice your soul to prove your value. You're already worthy. And your job is to live like it. That's the karmic law, the scientific law, the universal goddamn truth. Now what kind of ancestor, what kind of creator, what kind of leader do you want to be? The martyr in the ashes or the lighthouse blazing?